for me, some of the things I've took away from life as Leanne and I've traveled through fishing have been the most serious things. It hasn't always been what people would think. Like, what is your most memorable moment in fishing? Is it winning the Angler of the Year in '04? Is it 16? Or is it this classic or that classic? Those are great memories, don't get me wrong, and they're forever etched in my mind. But maybe I'm just a weirdo. But sometimes that is not the stuff that I sit and think about. If anyone's probably out there thought, hey, geez, kind of like off-centered or weird, yeah, you're right. Because things that stick out to me are probably not things that might stick out to other people. Things that I never will forget are things, maybe simple things. Some things are never spoke about. Leanne and I are at, I'll say it as a respect and secrecy to the person, we were at a Toyota owners tournament. And in a Toyota owners tournament, there's people come up, and Kevin and Ike and myself and Big Show, Matt Airy, Brendan Lester, we sit out there and we greet people coming in because Toyota puts this event on. It's a big time deal. We meet the fans. And we're standing there in line, and I'm greeting the fans, and I'm being a fool that I am. I'm just crazy. I'm high-fiving, and I'm kissing babies and celebrating, and everybody's coming through cutting up. And this man and woman keeps coming through line, and she's probably one or two people back. And I notice this woman is like dead staring at me, like she's not took her eyes off me. And not in a way that she thinks I'm hot, but as in a way that she's got something to say. And I'm like, so I'm attentive, I get that. She steps up, her husband shakes my hand. She reaches out to shake my hand, and she starts hugging me. She steps back, and I'm looking, and I knew the hug was different because as she hugged me, I could feel her shaking, and I'm thinking, okay, it's not unusual for maybe a fan to be that excited, which I still to this day, I'm not very comfortable with someone being that excited to meet me because I don't see that. I see myself as just a lucky redneck that's fished, but I'm going with it. So this lady backs up, and she looks me dead in the eye, and she starts biting on her bottom lip, and I'm thinking, okay. So you got to understand, there's a lot going on, and I'm trying to push everything aside, and I'm dead staring at this lady because I'm like, she wants to say something. And she says, I came here to fish this tournament today. The biggest thing I want to do was meet you and Lulu and tell you thank you. And I'm like, well, thank you for fishing. And she's like, no, it ain't thank you for fishing. She said, I've been clean, off drugs for almost 2 years now. And she said, I had a really bad drug addiction. And she said, I was sitting in the hospital. And she said, for whatever reason, on Facebook or whatever it was, popped up one of your videos. And she said, you're talking about positive mental attitude. And she said, as an addict, I start watching it. And she said that night, as everything fades away, she said, my life started to kind of change. And she said, I've been clean for 2 years, Gerald. And now by this time, she's biting her bottom lip. The tears are coming down both sides of her face. I'll be honest with you. I'd like to tell y'all that it was allergies or the flowers were blooming, but probably wasn't. I realized at that point in time that somehow, somewhere, that I had made a difference in somebody's life that was much bigger than fishing. So this lady had just told me that her addiction had been overcome. She was clean 2 years. She's back out like fishing and being like the most enjoyable person you could ever be around. She's beat the devil. She's beat every demon, all because of a YouTube video. And I told Leanne that night, I didn't say nothing to her at first. Her and I go eat that night, and we come out in the hotel room, and I sit with Leanne, and we're just talking, and I'm like, I tell her what happened. I'm like, honey, it's overwhelming. And she goes, we've just been blessed. I'm like, you just never know. But for me, the moral of the story is I get caught up in the hustle and the bustle. I get caught up in, hey, I need to make the classic. Hey, I need to get this done, or I need to make a top 10, or I need to practice. I need to set my graphs up. I need to do all this. Well, sometime in life, what we need to do is just push back from the table and just look around, because you really never know who's watching, who you could be helping without talking to, who needs a hand that can't reach you, what you can influence somebody by who can't hear you, who actually just needs to be saying everything's going to be all right, or it's okay not to be okay. So that night in the hotel room, I sit with Leanne, and it dawned on me that fishing is bigger than anything I ever imagined. It's bigger than Lake Ontario. It's bigger than Lake San Rayburn. Fishing to me has been a way to connect with people, fans, mothers, fathers, children, people who are fighting, battling something, to even this lady standing there biting that bottom lip saying, I beat it. I beat it. I beat drug addiction. And I'm here today to tell you, to that lady, I am damn proud you did. And if I was the part that helped you, then God bless you. If I'm not, maybe it's somebody else. Maybe if it ever comes up again, you can beat it. But it just tells me that no matter how dark the streets are or how big the hill is, people can climb it. But you never know where you're at in life when people just need a hand, or people may need a positive word. So I say all this to say the last thing. I struggle each and every day to be a little better person, because I have a temper. I have a temper. I have a temper. I am a workaholic, and I am driven to a fault. So sometimes I take my eye off the big picture. Sometimes I don't even realize I'm driving the bus, and there's people on there depending on me to say the right thing or make the right turn. If you're a fan and I've let you down, I apologize. If you're a fan somewhere and I've helped you, I'm glad I was. I'm going to work each and every day to be a better person. But to the lady who beat it, to whoop the demons, you damn right. I'm proud of you today. I am very proud.